natural fertility, pregnancy, birth center, breastfeeding, motherhood. Put them together, add the gospel, and you have a comprehensive women's health center. Leah Jacobson has 7 centers. She wants 50.
My nonprofit, the Guiding Star Project, is in the business of revolutionizing the women's healthcare industry. Like many great startups, our story begins on a college campus. My husband Josh and I were blessed to live and work at the Newman House at the University of Minnesota Duluth. I got pregnant the very first year there, had our first baby, and being one of the only pregnant and parenting women on a college campus, my living room became the place where all the young women on campus flocked. They wanted to hold the baby and ask questions about breastfeeding. In these conversations with young women, I noticed a really troubling trend. They were terrified of their bodies, terrified of their fertility. They knew nothing about what it meant to be born a female. When I thought about it, I realized that a lot of this was coming from their interactions that they had had in the healthcare realm. Their doctors had told them there was something wrong with their cycle, they couldn't trust something about it. They felt that they had the need to alter, suppress, and destroy their natural female bodies if they were going to get ahead in the world. And that became the birth of the Guiding Star Project. It began from a very simple premise. Your body is not a mistake. The healthcare industry needs to learn how to take care of you the way that God naturally made you, because He is a good God. So in 2012, I launched a website with a very simple question, and it was simply, can we do better for women's healthcare? And the response was crazy overwhelming. Requests poured in from all over the country with people that were eager to start their own Guiding Star Center. Now, we didn't have a formal business plan, but we had a big vision, and so we formed the nonprofit Guiding Star Project. By 2016, we had opened centers in Cedar Valley and Orange City, Iowa, followed by more across the country. In the last 8 years, we've opened up 7 centers in 5 states, and we're truly pioneering a new type of women's healthcare. We're shifting right now into a franchise model away from how we began this. Like I said, we didn't start with a formal business plan, and we realized over the years that this is something that needs to be scaled. This model has to be scaled, and so we are opening our very first corporately owned Guiding Star Birth Center in Tampa, Florida, later this year. Now, across all of our centers currently, we're seeing over 3,000 women a year with roughly 11,000 individual appointments. We do things like get women off their long-acting birth controls, removing their IUDs, doing abortion pill reversals, doing cycle shows for little girls, teaching them all about their bodies and their fertility. And women like Guiding Star client Carla in El Paso, Texas, told us that she didn't think she would ever have more than one baby because she had such a horrible childbirth experience. She was so traumatized by her experience at the hospital that she was done. After she came to Guiding Star and received comprehensive prenatal care, support from her doula, she told us that not only will she do it again, she wants 5. Now imagine what kind of impact we could have if we did this all across the country. Since 2020, we've had over 60 requests to open Guiding Star centers around the country. Now remember that piece about not having a solid business plan. We realized that we had reached a point where we needed to stop opening centers in 2022 and figure out how to do this right. And we know that we've got to figure it out because the need is great. The recent Harris poll reported 53% of women believe that they have to fight to get the medical care that they deserve, and the dissatisfaction among women between the ages of 18 and 34 is especially high. Now guys, this is a tremendous opportunity for us because the people that currently hold the women's healthcare market, the women's healthcare space, do not believe the same things we as Catholics believe about the human body. The market competitors are people like Planned Parenthood and TIA and the average abortion clinic provider down the street. We have a great opportunity in front of us. Now, unlike Planned Parenthood, and even some of our standard pro-life pregnancy centers, you must take a proactive life spectrum approach, starting with a girl as young as age 9 and keeping her all through her entire fertility life cycle journey. We know that we need to do birth, just like Carla's story. 63% of women having abortions currently have already given birth. They're mothers. We need to do birth better. And so we are opening Guiding Star Birth Centers in this year. To own and operate a corporate Guiding Star Birth Center, we anticipate the range to be about $1.5 million in real estate and an additional $1.6 million in annual operating costs. But it's not all lost. This is not dependent solely upon donations. These are billable services that we have a revenue stream for. In our first year of operation, we're anticipating a $40,000 annual return on the birth center in Tampa, and we desire to open our second corporately owned center by 2026, along with 45 locally owned centers.
Let's start our questions now.
Thank you, great job. Billable to who? Does the healthcare system pay for this, or is it individuals?
Yeah, great question. Licensed birth centers are billable to all major insurance plans, all health share plans, multiple ways that you can bill. Birth centers also do have a lower cost of service, so they typically are a lower price point as well to deliver there. So it's saving on healthcare costs and also creating a better birth experience.
Great. I wanted to just thank you for what you're doing. I think obviously women's health care needs to be pro-life at all stages, and it's very hard to find pro-life health care. So thank you. This is a very complex area, the healthcare space, particularly this one. Who do you need to help you navigate the complexities on the regulatory side, the medical side? Whose help do you need for this to be successful?
We've found a lot of great support actually in the American Academy of Birth Centers. I'm one of the founding members of the Pro Women's Healthcare Consortium in this country, PWHC, and so that set of standards has also been helpful for us to say, this is what authentic women's healthcare looks like. Working with other providers around the country that are PWHC certified has been very helpful for us. And also franchise lawyers. So we're looking to build our board with more of these people that have healthcare administration experience, that are not only women's healthcare providers, but that understand the very complex healthcare space, because to your point, it's different in every state of this country. So we are learning, yes.
Do you have programs for men that walk along with women pregnant? I just from experience, it's very scary for a man. We don't really know what this woman does. We just look to the hospital a lot of times, so.
We always welcome the dads, of course, into our centers. We've taken a very woman-centric approach because a lot of times there's a lot of trauma that walks in our door. There are a lot of situations that are less than ideal. And so our branding, our marketing, our approach is very much focused on women and reducing their fear. Now, for men that are active and present in relationships, we're absolutely welcome. We have man programs. We have the Man Cave at one of our centers, set up a special space for the dads. We have daddy boot camps. And they're always encouraged to be present at the birth, 100%.
Because of the number of services and because you're thinking franchising, how do you think you're going to solve the quality control issue across the country?
Yeah, so that's our hope with our corporately owned locations. So 10% of our centers we want to be owned by the national organization. And that allows us to have regionally a training location and also kind of the oversight for that region of the country where we can check in and make sure that things are going exactly how we want them to go. When you start at McDonald's, you give them a playbook, but then you check in and you make sure the Big Mac has the right sauce. And so that's what we need to be doing as well at Guiding Star as we spread across the country, that we get our corporately owned locations up and running as well before we allow the franchise to grow beyond.
One last question.
My question is similar. You alluded to it earlier. It sounds like you're looking at a national model, and that is going to involve the complexities of different levels of state regulation. How do you? I think this is something you can succeed at, but what's the strategy here for just dealing with every state being its own animal?
Well, and that's such a great point. We've identified a few states are easier than others. The Midwest has been lovely and very accommodating. I'm from Minnesota, not very accommodating, however. Texas, very accommodating. You have something here called TPCN funding. One of our centers here in Texas gets almost $1 million a year from the state of Texas Florida has similar funding. There are certain states in our country that fund and help us, and so that's where we're strategically looking to go first, as well as their licensing agreements for their midwives is a very important consideration on where we go. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Leah.